am so blown out right now. Oh my god. Criterion sale just started 2 days ago. It's now Sunday. I'm trying to... I park in a bad spot. So what's the plan? Plan is we're gonna go to Dunn Brothers, get some fuel, gotta get jacked up on some caffeine, and then we're gonna go to the Barnes & Noble. Sale's only been on for 2 days, so I'm assuming that most of the stuff is still in stock. And then after that, I will show you what I bought, because that's the only store I'm going to today. But we have all month to do this, so there will be plenty of opportunities to get a lot of movies. So.
Hi, welcome to Dunn Brothers. What can I get started for you?
Could I have a large coffee frappe with whipped cream?
Yeah, is that all for you?
Yep, that's it. Thank you. And could I just have a sleeve with it as well? Thanks. Oh, yeah, there's a doggy right next to me. See, this little corner is just the holy zone. Your Dunn Brothers here, and then if you look right there, half price books. You see that behind me? A little bit out of focus, but it's there. We made it to Barnes & Noble. So I'm gonna go in there. I wanted to bring my frappe in, but it's kind of been leaking. You can see little splotches on my pants there. I think I'm just gonna have to take a couple of sips of good luck. I don't want to be holding this camera and this frappe and looking for Blu-rays. You're gonna have to stay in here, buddy, but I'll be back to sip you up later, okay? Alright, I'm getting out of there with my stuff. I feel like I contracted a cold or something in there. My head hurts now, my nose is cold, throat's a little irritated. Alright, let's get this camera set up proper here. Alright, it did melt a little bit. Shoot, I was in there for like 25 minutes probably. Okay, so I got a few items. We'll go ahead and open them up. I will say that this place was a little bit picked apart by vultures. Like, there wasn't a lot there. I got a bit more obscure films, but lately Criterion has released a lot of movies that are a bit more common and mainstream that I wanted to get. Like, I really wanted to get the Funny Games Criterion release that just came out. Jim Jarmusch's A Night on Earth, but they didn't have that there. And I'm definitely going to be picking up the Criterion Blue Velvet at some point, but I wasn't able to today because it wasn't in stock. They had a lot more DVDs than they had Blu-rays, so I think that this first weekend of the sale, people kind of already came here. There were a couple of other guys also looking through the Criterions while I was there, so I think it's pretty popular at the beginning of the sale. But I'm getting a phone call, or a FaceTime. Hello?
Hi.
I'm in the middle of filming right now, babe.
Oh, what are you filming?
Would you like to be in the vlog?
Sure. Hi.
Can I call you back?
Can you just tell me what you're filming?
I'm making a... Well, I went to Barnes & Noble, of course. Where else would I go?
Oh, you already... I thought you said, oh, I'm not in the mood to buy stuff.
You know, mood changes by day.
Okay, well, okay.
So, I did pick up 4 movies. I limited myself to 4. I got to pick up a few, to me, essential and important films that I don't yet have in my collection. The first one I'm going to show you is probably the most essential, and I've never seen it. That's Bicycle Thieves. This is a film from, I'm reading it on the back here, 1948. I did a presentation on this movie in a film class once, but I've never actually seen it. So I know that this is just supposed to be one of the best films to come out of Italy in the first half of the 19th century, or 20th century. What am I on right now? 1900s. I'm glad to finally have it in my collection so I can sit down and watch it one of these days. Next one I have here is actually a Jim Jarmusch film that I've also been eyeing, that I was able to find. And you know what I gotta say? I mentioned Jim Jarmusch on this channel a lot, and I haven't seen nearly enough of his films. Like, everything I've seen I've thought is at least like pretty damn good, honestly. Most of them fantastic. And I don't watch enough of his movies though. I've only seen his newer ones. So I'm trying to build up my repertoire here of his older films, and that's Down by Law. This stars Tom Waits, who you all, well, maybe you don't all know Tom Waits. He's a musician who is also an actor. He is closely affiliated with Jim Jarmusch. They've done a lot of films together now. And this was probably one of the first ones. This came out in 1986, and it's about, I believe, prisoners getting out of prison. I don't really know the story of it, but I know the people involved, and I love the cover. And yeah, this is one I've wanted to check out for a long time, because I think that Tom Waits being a leading actor in a movie, that's not something I've seen. I've only seen him in supporting roles and little bit parts, so I'm curious to see what it's like for him to be kind of front and center in a film. I have two more left here. This one is one that on Letterboxd, I think it's really highly rated. They have a new system where they show the top 250 movies based on the ratings on their, you know, platform. IMDb has had the top 250 movies for a very long time. I don't really agree with that list most of the time. Like Shawshank Redemption at number 1, that's just, that movie's just a very like good general feel. But this one, regardless, was really high up there on Letterboxd, and it's called A Brighter Summer Day. I believe this was a Chinese film. Let's see, the language is Mandarin and Taiwanese. This cover, I think, is one of the best. You have Elvis Presley, a record up in the top there. You have what appears to be a school outfit, and I think it's actually kind of covered in blood. This is a very long movie. It's 236 minutes long, and it's supposed to be just a really fantastic, I think, coming-of-age story. Judging by the cover, I'm assuming something not great happens. It's been regarded, and I've heard a lot of different things about it. It's gonna be very difficult to find the time to sit down and watch this, but maybe one of these weekends, once I get settled down, I'll watch this all alone. A 3.5-hour long movie, and see what I think. Really glad I've heard about this movie, because it honestly sounds really interesting from what I've read about it. I usually don't try to read much about movies, just because I like to go into things with the lowest expectations that I can, and I don't want to know much about the story. So if it ever sounds like I'm a dumbass talking about this stuff, it's because I see who's involved, I've heard of what people have said about it, and that's all I need to know to get interested and want to watch it. And the last one I picked up here is Woman in Dunes. This is a film from, I believe, Japan from 1964. This is another longer movie at around 2.5 hours long. It's got a very provocative cover there. I don't know exactly what it's about, because like I just explained, I don't always know what things are about. Regardless, this seems like the kind of movie that I'd be interested in, and it's directed by Hiroshi Teshigahara, if that's how you pronounce his name. I'm assuming he's directed quite a few other movies, probably a few that are in the Criterion collection. I'm assuming it's gonna be a very tense, kind of psychological, uncomfortable film, which is the kind of film that I honestly do really enjoy. I'm kind of a weirdo like that. I like it when a movie makes me kind of get sweaty and squirm in my seat. It makes things more real. It makes things more relatable, I guess. All 4 of these movies I have great expectations for, and I highly doubt that I will be disappointed by them, because how could you be? They all seem like they're made by good, competent filmmakers. They're all in the Criterion collection. That's what I decided to pick up on the first weekend here. I will most certainly be buying a lot more Criterions throughout the month, so you can keep your eye out for more videos. I'll take you into the store with me. We'll share the experience together. But in all honesty, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, you can hit the subscribe button, and I'll talk to you later.